welcome to my channel. My name is Tilo, and in this video, just gonna go over the backstory on my A3, and then also do a bit of a product review on this vacuum smoke leak detector that I bought off Amazon. So, behind me is my 2006 Audi A3. Bought the car in August 2005. I had 81 miles when I first bought it, and I bought it after my first deployment from Iraq. Now, while I was still over there, waiting for transportation to fly back home, went to the PX, picked up a Road and Track magazine, and they had this car on the cover. Or not this color, it was like a silver car on the cover. Fell in love with it. And I actually had a list of cars that I wanted to test drive when I came back home. Them being the 350Z, STI, Evo, the SRT4, Mini Cooper S. I wanted something quick, small and quick. But when I saw this car on the Road and Track magazine, I fell in love with it. And when I came home, went and test drove one, and then bought it the next day. And funny story with that is that I didn't know how to drive manual. I knew very little about driving manual, so I looked like a fool when I went to the dealership and tried to test drive it. But I loved the car so much that I bought it and learned with it. And this is the car that I've basically learned the majority of what I know about working on cars. So I guess I'll go over modifications and problems. The car is 4-cylinder, 2-liter turbo, stock turbo, stage 2 ECU, basically full bolt-ons, lightweight flywheel, stage 2 clutch, motor mounts, custom intake. I don't know if you can see it. There'll be pictures up. 3-inch downpipe that goes into a custom Y dual exhaust. I've done a lot. Short shifter, and I had this HKS blow-off valve on it, and I've had this thing since I want to say 2006, 2007. Before that, I had a Gritty Type S, but that didn't perform that well, so I went with the HKS, and it's been running fine up until 3 years ago. I started having an issue with it where the car would basically had a big back leak, and I just figured it out with the smoke detector. And I didn't figure it out at the time because I was still working on the other thing, all-wheel drive conversion. So when these cars came to the US, they only came in with 2 engines and 2 drivetrains. The VR6 came with a DSG Quattro Haldex system, and then the 4-bangers only came with front-wheel drive in either DSG or manual, and I had to get a manual because I'm autistic. But yeah, I got the manual, converted it to Haldex, and it runs. The Haldex works. I got the ECU to communicate with the Haldex controller. The problem that I have with it is the ABS and the ESP don't want to communicate with the ECU. So still trying to figure that out, and that's why trying to figure out what the problem was with the car stalling at idle upon startup, why I never got a chance to figure it out, and then some other things happened. Had a house fire, had to put the car in storage, and then I decided to unplug the MAF and then drive it like that. When I unplugged the MAF, it drove perfect. I was able to pull on a 2016 STI, so it ran great with the MAF unplugged. Yeah, a few weeks after that, I ended up crashing the car in 2020, January 2020. I crashed the car front driver's side, destroyed the fender, the wheel, the axle, the spindle, basically majority of the front suspension parts. But while I was stuck on, I took a turn when it was when the roads were wet, and slid out and hit a curb. Now, while I was waiting for the tow truck, a truck came by and also lost control and ended up hitting me in the rear quarter panel. So that's another thing that I gotta fix. And I put some carbon fiber wrap, just messing around. But yeah, so here's that custom intake that I made. Bunch of I think it was like a aftermarket eBay intake that I cut up, put it up on the side here. Running water meth, basically just to cool the intake temps down. I didn't do anything as far as like upping the octane level on the tune. Maybe in the future. I also have a KO4 that I'd like to install, but I need to fix that blow-off valve, and then also need to fix that damage, and then some other things as far as getting the car aligned, because I was slowly put everything back together, fix everything, the damage that I did, and now I'm gonna start working on getting that dialed in, getting the alignment done, and then fixing that damage back there, which is going to be an adventure because I'm not a professional, and I'm not sure if I'm going to end up finding a donor and cutting out that rear quarter panel and then welding it in place, or just doing like pulling out as much as I can and doing like a custom wide body, because there's not really many options there as far as wide bodies for these cars. But yeah, so I found with the smoke detector, I found the issue, the vac leak, and there was this, as soon as I turn the car on, the vacuum pulls the valve open, and then the car stalls out. So it's hard to find rebuilt parts for these. I do have some springs here that are for, I think, my JHM short shifter for the S4. So I'm gonna see if these will work. If not, I might just have to go a different route as far as blow-off valve. But yeah, that's the story with the car. Yeah, we'll go on to setting up the smoke detector and me finding out the problem. All right, today I'm going to be assembling and using this smoke detector that I got off of Amazon. So yep, first off, it comes with a couple of attachments. The main hose here, this connects to the back of the unit. And then this, I guess, connects to your little fittings, like this one here for like vacuum hoses, or this larger one here that you can, I'm going to be putting into the intake tubing to see if I have a vacuum or a boost leak. And then the power cable connects back here and connects to battery. And then there's some other, I guess, caps here. Oh shit, some caps here to like block off tubing and piping. Yeah, got a hook right here that goes on the top. Spin it in place, and then you can just like hang it off, and then be able to work on the car. But yeah, let's set this up here. All right, so I guess the way this hose goes in, it came in with this little connector here, little fitting here. You put the hose, it's better. You slip part of the fitting over the hose, and then you slip the fitting into the nipple, and then you tighten it. That way it doesn't come loose. You don't have any leaks out here. I'm pretty sure you just have to be finger tight. So there it goes. Now I just need to add some mineral oil, or they're also suggesting baby oil in here to get it going. Alright, so the instructions call for 20 milliliters of mineral oil or baby oil. So I filled the little deal here with 45 milliliters, and I'm just gonna add the 20 in here. Alright, so that should be 20 milliliters there. And I'm just gonna close this and connect it to the car. Alright, so got the power cord connected to the back of the unit. Positive, it runs off battery power, so positive to positive and negative to negative. There you go. And it's starting to make some noise. So I got the plug here in the intake, but let's see how this actually works. Oh, there you go, see it? Pressurize the system and see where the leaks are, if there's any. Found my leak.
I'm done.
Alright, so looks like the diaphragm inside is broken. Big gap there, no gap on the bottom, so time to either replace, or if I can, just fix the internals. Alright, took the valve apart as much as I could, and this piece here that I thought was, well, it is separated. It's kind of hard for me to do one-handed. Well, the back end has these little tabs that go into this piece here where the holes are. And it looks like it was held in by adhesive, nothing special. And I think that's just what happened over the years. The adhesive, wore out and the piece came undone. So I think this is gonna be an easy fix. I'm just gonna glue this shit back on and install it and see how things go. Alright, so fixed the blow-off valve. I glued that piece that had come loose with this JB Weld high heat, because it's going to be in the engine bay, and put everything back together, and I'm going to start it, and hopefully it idles, because it had obviously bad vacuum leak, so the car would stall whenever I would turn it on, but hopefully this fixes it. Guess not. All right, turn it on.